All right, everyone, here we go. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. It's straight up energy reading. Right, this is the full moon in Capricorn. I am here with Flem the Parrot in his recovery box. You know, people have been asking me how he's doing since the Saturday reading. He's got a little splint on his leg, which he is not happy with. But he's over here, off to my left. Maybe I'll bring it out if it won't traumatize him later. He's just got a little splint. He's behaving like a little baby, wants to be hand-fed. Was kind of, you know what? I'm pulling on the moon. I get the moon in my pre-shuffle. So for those of you who are wondering, he's still alive. He's fine. Jeez. I mean, I've got an energy here. The moon, the Knight of Cups, the Nine of Cups, you, and somebody, an emperor charging towards you. I mean, that's the literal pre-shuffle. This is a reality check. Oh, they call it the strawberry moon. I don't know. But it's a reality check. It's what do you want versus what do you need kind of a thing. Emotion versus, I don't know, the physical sort of a thing. Somebody here is getting real about you. Okay? And that's what I've got here. All right? Let's see where we go. Let's shuffle the deck. Are you ready? All right. Come on now. Let's see where we're at. Card before the cuts. Why the fuck are we here? All right. Let's see where we go. All right. Jesus. Unbelievable. All right. See where we're at. Judgment. That's why we're here. Somebody's, again, judgment. What did I say? This moon is about a reality check. This is a reality check from God's source, the universe. You're going to get, something's going to get tested. Well, I mean, in your life, there's going to be some things that get tested. But in general, with you and somebody else, it's Steve's Love Tarot, your connection's kind of being tested a little bit. It's sort of like if you had an electrical item and you wanted to see if it was going to work real quick, but you got the, one wire is connected, the ground's connected, and then you got the other one, you just sort of touch it to see if it'll come on. It's a bit of that. It's kind of what's going on here. I think somebody's done, I want to say done with the anxiety over you. I think the full moons usually culminate things. And I think there's a lot of anxiety culminating here. Seven of Cups. Somebody's figuring out not what the right thing to do is, but they're getting a good, cold, hard look at what they didn't do. Okay? That's when you have judgment involved. That's often what happens. All right? That's often what happens. So let's give the deck a shuffle. Let's pull a reading. Are you all right? Don't chew your box. I'm not made of boxes. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's see where we're at. Let's see. Unreal. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, right? But if you're here for a reason. This reading is timeless. Whenever you find it, you're meant to find it. I'm not a fucking Time Lord. All right? But this moon energy is definitely strongest in the first couple of weeks, for sure. All right? So keep that in mind. That Cancer new moon that's coming up because of the Cancerian soulmate cycle really drowns out a lot of energy. Let's see where we go here. Let's see. All right. Come on now. I'll tell you. All right. Divine timing. Well, there's a lot going on right now that happens for a reason. This is, whatever happens during this full moon happens for a reason. This is the overall energy. Well, there's probably an edit there. Flem the Parrot tried to get out of his little convalescing box. Tried to get out. He's going to hurt the other leg, I swear. Okay, we got him in a better box now. That said, everything that happens, what was I saying? Everything happens for a reason during this moon. All right? That's what's going on here. Well, a lot of things happen for a reason. I see it playing out in my life. Why'd Flem the Parrot have to hurt his leg? Why I got to go through all this stuff? It turns out he needed to have an injury. I figured it out. I asked the universe. I said, why did this happen? I got my answer fast. He needed to have an injury where he got an x-ray. They don't always x-ray birds. They don't do that unless they have to, put a splint on them, for example, or something like that, or so they got a broken limb or whatever. In that x-ray revealed we needed to make some changes to his diet. So we made some vital changes to his diet. Now he'll probably live 7-10 years longer, right? Probably, that's the thing. It happened for a reason. That's the kind of shit that's happening under this moon. I want to point out. You may think the universe is being harsh. You may think, well, why do I have to go through all this pain? Why does that person have to go through all this pain? Why did Steve's bird have to go through all that pain and shock? Right? It happened for a reason. So keep in mind in your life, the same kind of shit's going to happen here. You're not really going to understand why the universe is doing what it's doing. Somebody else attached to you doesn't understand it either. Somebody else attached to you is not sure what's going on. They're freaking out. Okay? The whole pre-shuffle came back underneath that divine timing, and there's that fucking moon again. It is what it is. All right, let's see where we go. All right, let's pull it. Right here's your connection with this person. Right here's the 3D energies around this person. Right here's their soul. This is the hidden energy message from the universe, right? For you, it's a message to you. Right here's the potential final outcome for you. It's often read with the 3D energy of your person. I will clarify everything, throw some universe cards at the end, and you bet your sweet asses I'm going to extend this. It's a full moon reading. We got the Jupiter reading coming up on Tuesday. Woo! This one will tie to it a little bit. A lot of the divine timing, a lot of the fortitude, the strength you'll need to deal with some of the stuff that comes up in this will come from that fiery, a little fire coming into the soulmate cycle. Jupiter really governs the soulmate cycle, as I wrote about in my article on it. So it's a big deal that we got some fire coming. All right? So if you're part of the soulmate cycle, no matter what sign you are, you'll get a little extra fire in your belly. You get a little extra bravery. All right, right here, energy around your connection. Let's go. 8 swords. Yeah, what did I say? What did I say? Somebody's freaking out. They don't understand. Somebody attached to you, and you may wonder too. Why is this happening? Steve, have I hit a patch of bad luck? Have I hit bad luck? What's going on? It might feel that way. Something might get you in your head. Certainly getting somebody else in their head. Why does this have to happen? Why? A whole lot of whys here. Try not to, I can't talk to your person, right? But try not to get in your head too much about any of this. 3D energies around this person. 8 of Pentacles. Somebody's trying to avoid the unavoidable. Now that could be, I can't tell yet, because I need to clarify, but that could be something in their life. It could be about you. It could be both. Or it could be something that they've avoided is coming to bite them in the ass, and they're wondering why. The answer is it's happening for a reason, right? The best example I can give you, if this hasn't happened to you yet, is my example with Flem the parrot. It was ridiculous, all right? We had to take him to 3 different vets before we found someone that didn't have their head up their ass that knew about eclectus parrots, because they're very specialized. Let me just say something real quick, in case you're a specialist watching me. Are you a specialist? Are you a doctor, a dentist, a veterinarian, an avian vet, or something like that? Make sure you keep studying. Make sure you stay up on things. I'm just going to phrase it this way so I don't go on a diatribe, because there's a doctor up here in the fucking Santa Monica area that I would rip to shreds, but I won't. My wife warned me not to say his name. But I will tell you, if you're a specialist and I, a layperson, walk in and I know more than you do about the pet or the issue or whatever it is, that's a problem, okay? You need to study and learn what's going on with stuff. Man, unbelievable. You may not know why it's happening. Whatever is going on with this full moon becomes a pain in the ass, all right? It starts out as an issue, and then it becomes a pain in the ass, and then after it's over, you find out why it all happened, and you're grateful it all happened. All right? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right? And if you're a specialist, make sure a layperson walking in doesn't know more than you do about what you're supposedly a specialist in. Unfucking believable. All right, here we go. The customer's always wrong these days. Soul energy right here. 5 Pentacles, bookends the 8 of Swords. Yeah, somebody wishes this doesn't, I'm going to say it's your person because that's their soul energy, right? Somebody feels the loss of you. There's a deeper meaning there than what I'm saying. It's not just that they feel they missed out on you or something like that. There's some sort of unexplainable anxiety that's here within somebody, okay? And it's that feeling, if I'm to give it to you, because it comes into me as feelings and I translate it into words. It's sort of like when you know you were supposed to do something, but you can't remember what it is. You know that feeling and it drives you crazy? That's what they've got over this connection. I think this was a connection that was definitely supposed to happen. All right. What's going on? I don't have any indication what kind of connection it is right now. But something's getting settled for you in this full moon, okay? You and this person, and maybe a lot of things in your life. And again, you can use my story as a good example. It's a good example of how it goes. It becomes something that should have been a piece of cake, becomes a pain in the ass, and then at the end of the pain in the ass, you find out what it was all for. I suspect with your final outcome in this reading, you find out what this connection was for. Now, I think as far as this connection's concerned, you find out why it all happened. Why did it all have to be this way, Steve? Why did I have to be crying in a corner with booze and watching YouTube read? I don't know. I guess you're going to find out. What's the message to you from the universe? The King of Pentacles. Right. You find out. This is stabilizing energy on the Eight of Swords. Your Eight of Swords gets stabilized. Okay? Also, somebody can't figure out why you still matter so much. I can do that too. I'll clarify. We'll get more. What's your potential final outcome? The Knight of Wands. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. No, what happens during the Capricorn full moon moves you forward exponentially, right? Well, I mean, it does. It allows you to move forward confidently. The Knight of Wands is a fairly confident, forward-moving energy, but it's a fast-moving energy. It hurls you forward. He usually goes further than other things. I mean, think about my thing here, what I said. If he hadn't had an injury, he needed to have an injury that required an x-ray. The universe, that's the answer I got from the universe. Sorry we had to, fuck up his leg and put him through pain, but he needed to have an x-ray so that you would know to change his diet. Same thing here. Whatever you find out, whatever alleviation of this Eight of Swords with this connection for you, moves you forward exponentially. Either you find out something about yourself, you make some changes in your own life about how you make choices or whatever, or just this connection finally moves forward. I don't know. I suspect with this full moon in Capricorn, this is playing out in many ways in your life. It's not just this connection, but this is Steve's Love Tarot, so I'm trying to focus just on this connection and give you real world examples, okay? All right, let's go. All right, Eight of Swords. Seven of Cups. Your person, I'm not going to equate this to you too much. Your person does it. It's what I said when I was talking about this. They don't even know what it's that feeling of there's something I was supposed to do, but I can't think of it. God, right? It's that. They're confused as to why they're like this. They're anxious. They don't know why they're anxious, They might try to blame it on the weather. Who knows? Nine Cups. Why is that here? King of Wands. And the bridge is the Four of Swords. There's something they didn't do. There's a feeling of something they didn't do. Or they feel like they were selfish. In retrospect, I was selfish. And they feel bad about that. Right? Okay. Eight of Pentacles. Tell me about it. Trying to avoid it. The clean read on the Eight of Pentacles here is they're trying to avoid the unavoidable. Or it could be past tense. They already did, and that's why they're kind of fucked over here in Eight Swords. It's possible. But you're in Eight Swords a little bit over this too, but you're more wondering why something had to play out the way it did. Or or maybe it's when they approach, you wonder why it had to be the way they did. Right? Kind of a thing. It can be any number of things. You could run into each other with your cars. Why did it have to be like this? Why do we have to be wheelchairing to each other? I mean, that kind of a thing. But I don't know. This energy is going to work in weird ways. But it is a serious reality check overall, and it'll allow you to move forward from a much more solid footing. Somebody just blew something off. Two of Pentacles, round and round is the environmental energy. Round and round and round and round and round. What's on top? Queen of Pentacles. Why is that here? The Hanged Man and Justice. Somebody now wants to put in the work. Now, I could equate that to seeing your value here. Now they see your value. I think this has the potential to be a King and Queen of Pentacles connection, which is one of my favorites. This has come up in some of the readings before. I feel like it might be a little too late. I don't know. But whatever it is here is very healing for you. I get that. It improves your forward motion in some way. What's going on with the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles right here. What's going on? It's crossed by the Five of Pentacles. It just backs up everything I said. It's all they can focus on. That feeling of, gosh, there was something I was supposed to do. I can't think of what it is. It's all consuming. Okay? So it's in the soul. It's in the environmental energy around the soul. It's running their life. Five Swords. I fucked up. Why is that here? The Three of Pentacles. I could have had a V8. They could have had something. Somebody feels like there was something really important they were supposed to do, but they were selfish and didn't do it, but they can't quite pinpoint what it is, or they can, but they don't want to know because of the Eight of Swords there under here, which these are bookending of. Okay? All right, that's fine. Let's move on. Let's talk about you. Let's do it. Over divine timing. Please, take it to heart here. You're not going to know. God, source, the universe, however you want to phrase it, energy works in mysterious ways. You have no idea. You won't know why something had to happen until after it happens. It could be a while, too. It might not be right away. But if you're like me at all, you can ask the universe. It'll give you an answer, right? It'll show you a sign or whatever, right? All right, here we go. King of Pentacles. My sign was when the vet came in and said, well, it's a good thing he had this injury. I mean, it's sad, but we had to do this x-ray. It's a good thing we did. I'm like, okay. But we did spend a little time looking at the x-ray, laughing at his brain. It was a tiny little brain. All right, here we go. Let's see where we go. King of Pentacles. Why is that? Okay. All right. Page of Cups. I think an apology from this person would mean a lot to you on some level. A reconciliation. Getting the truth from this person would mean a lot to you. Getting the truth. My King of Truth. He holds this sword. That's the Archangel Michael's sword of truth. Yeah. I think getting the truth from this person would be a lot to you. I think that's your Eight of Swords right there. That's 8 swords. It's red with the 8 swords up here. So this is talking about them. This is talking about you. Somebody didn't do something. I think they owe you an apology, and I think you'd like to get it. And I think that's your 8 swords about this. And you're not sure. I think that the apology itself may come in under weird circumstances. I joke that you run into each other with your cars and you end up, in the ER together. But, again, it's one of those moments where you wonder, why did it have to happen this way? Don't ask. We started with judgment right up here in the card before the cut. God, source, the universe, works in mysterious ways. There's a whole lot of that going on in this energy. The energy's already here. You don't have to wait for the full moon to happen and then wait 2 weeks. You're all moving at different speeds on your timeline. But as I said I think I said it in the weekly reading title the other day, it's going to be a ride this week, I imagine. Wow, that just chucked right out of there. I see what it is. There's the Emperor. That's control. You finally get a handle on something you didn't know about, right? And why is that here? And that maybe you were anxious about. You get a handle on something. It's victory. There's your proof, right? Look at that. We'll get to these. Victory, 6 of Wands, bookending that. It backs up everything I said, right? This improves your life in some way with an Emperor there. That's a beautiful Emperor energy for you, by the way. It is the Emperor, Mr. or Mrs. Fix-It energy, I like to call it. They'll take care of it, right? This is something, whatever this person does, just talking about this connection, allows you to make something better going forward in the future. It applies as well, I will tell you, especially with the High Priestess here, to other aspects of your life as well. So it'll play out. I mean, hopefully you don't have a parrot who breaks his foot. But, at the end of the day, or dislocates a knee, actually. But at the end of the day, this plays out in a lot of areas in your life. I'll tell you what. Let's pull 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card. Let's see what else the universe wants to tell you. Let's see where we go. This is truth crossing bullshit. This is everything we've talked about. I think your 8 of Swords on many fronts gets alleviated. Things you didn't know about come to the surface, yes, but things people lied to you about come to the surface, okay? You have, with one person in particular, I imagine it's this soulmate that came in here. There is, no, you know what? I'm going to say on many fronts, okay? But if not for you, if you like live in a basement in Manitoba, you're trapped, you just watch TV all day, haven't seen the sun in a while, you're so white, you're invisible. You know, I mean, I get it. So that would just be this soulmate for you. But for most of you, everything that's said to you during the 2-week period of this moon, everything that somebody says to you is important. It means something. It ties to this final outcome. Okay? I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to try to get the gist of what I'm trying to tell you when I share my own story here about how this energy kind of plays out. It's important. It actually fits perfectly with the energy, and the cards fell that way too. It's amazing, right? But in your life, the universe is trying to talk to you, yes, but other people are going to tell you things, and what they're telling you is the truth, but you'll be able to discern whether it's truth or lie. It's the truth according to them, but you'll be able to tell whether it's real truth or fake truth. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Keep that in mind. All right, let me see if we're going to go ahead and do an extended. There's a couple of links at the top of the description. All right. I hope this reading was helpful. Let me see if Flem the Parrot wants to come by. Here, hold on. All right, I had to take my mic off, but we're going to show you his little splint. There it is. There's his little splint. All right, he's not happy. I only do that in part because a lot of people have been here a while, know Flem the Parrot. He's our mascot for a long time, on my shoulder there, on the picture. And plus he's on the social media. But also there's always some fucker that's going to come in and go, oh, he's just playing on sympathies. That bird's not hurt. Oh, yeah, he is. There you go, man. There you go. There's always somebody like that. Don't believe anything anybody says. Fortunately, this energy works a little better than that. You'll be a little cleaner than that, all right? That's your reading. If you want the extended, there's a couple of links at the top of the description. Good luck.